In this session, first we are going to define a neural network, talk about our brain's ability, and then we will continue the discussion by introducing a model for artificial neural network. Let's see, what can our brain do? Our brain can recognize people after so many years. This is a very important task for our brain, and if you work in the field of image processing, you might understand that this is a very complex and complicated task for a computer to do. And it requires several programming and layers to recognize a face of a human, especially if a person changed the color of the hair, the color of the eyes. Computers are not really able to recognize the same person if they change a little bit. But this is very easy task for our brain, and we can recognize our best friend even after a few years, like 3 years, 5 years, without any hesitation. Next thing that our brain can do, and this is very fascinating, is read different handwriting. The kids during elementary school might not really be good at this task. They might not really be able to read our handwriting, but after a few years, when they are in high school, or better if they are an instructor or a teacher already, they can read different handwriting. They can just read even a bad handwriting. Their brain, during the years of experience and seeing different handwritings, improve itself. Another fascinating thing about our brain is our brain can have this flexibility and can separate the errors and false data from the useful data. So our brain has kind of filter that can filter extra lines and just read the passage itself. There are several applications for converting handwriting into typed text. We all have it in our cell phone. You can try a Google application or other keyboards and you can try writing something. It will just translate it into a text. But as you just try it for a few times, they are very sensitive. They improved during past years very much, but still they are sensitive and still they might get mistake between A and O and some other letters. And finally, our brain can learn, which is very amazing, and that's what we are trying to implement and apply on the machines as well. A human baby, when wants to catch some object, they are actually trying, failing to finally catch the specific object. Eventually, their brain is calculating the cosine function based on the distance of their eyes and distance to the object. But they are not aware of that. They're just trying and failing until they can catch the object. Our brain is amazing. Our brain can learn during the time. But let's see, how can we do such these amazing and fascinating things? What is inside our brain? Our brain has around 10 billion neurons. Each neuron has up to 10,000 connections. Just imagine that you are living in a society that you are connected directly to 10,000 people. And whenever you have a request, whenever you're looking for something, you can directly ask the mayor, you can directly ask the president. We all know that people with too many connections, they can just easily do their things, usually easier than others. Connection is very important even in our world. In our brain, each neuron has connection to 10,000 neurons, which is very important, and it will help our brain to make a fast decision and do these amazing things. This is a biological model for the neuron. A neuron takes an input signal through the dendrites, processes it like the CPU with soma, and process the output through a cable-like structure to other connected neurons, which is through axon to synapse to other neurons dendrite. So this is how our brain and how the neurons inside our brain are working.